Now, if you ask me, Netherwart's a pretty interesting crop, alright? It gives you 0 farming XP, which is pretty weird considering it's a crop. It requires no source water or any block like that, and it doesn't even need tilted dirt. It needs soul sand. Like, what? However, because this crop is just that weird, I decided, why not make a video on it? So, yeah, let's just do it. Yeah. I'm very good at transitions, alright? 10 out of 10. Now, the Nether Wart minion is a pretty weird minion on its own, considering the fact that the recipe consists of something pretty weird. If I go over here, you'll see that it costs 80 Nether Wart, which is perfectly normal. I mean, come on, it's a Nether Wart minion. However, the weird part is that why is there a pickaxe in the center? Why? Besides that though, maxing a Nether Wart minion isn't too expensive at all. However, there's a couple of downsides when it comes to a Nether Wart minion. One of the main downsides with the Nether Wart minion is that it's extremely slow. Okay, at level 1, it takes 50 seconds just to plant or break one Nether Wart. However, I have a max Nether Wart minion and it's still only 32 seconds with no buffs. Which, for comparison, alright? Look at this, look at this. If I go into collection, crafted minions, I go to a carrot minion. Level 1 is 20 seconds. Level 11 is 10 seconds. I think you guys see a difference. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so what if it takes a while? I could always add in, like, catalyst or, like, something like that, right? But, oh, you'd be wrong. Because if you put in catalyst, right, you're going to be making mutant netherite, which on its own is pretty good. But then you realize, it gives you no XP. I think you see an issue there as well. It gives you 0 XP. It's horrible, alright? These things are supposed to give you a decent amount of XP. Nope. Nope, they just rob you of all your XP, man. It's horrible. Now, I kind of gave Nether Wart a bad rep so far. However, there are some pros to it. So, let's go over manual farming. Compared to basic farms like carrot or potato farm, a Nether Wart farm is a tad bit different. This is an original Nether Wart farm, okay? It's just a plain field of Nether Wart, nothing out of the ordinary. However, if we look up, this is what's known as one of, if not the best Nether Wart farms, okay? Mine's a bit different, but it still gives you the perspective of what an actually good Nether Wart farm is, okay? It looks like a normal layer, except there's a bunch of holes in that, which I'll explain in a second, but this is just what one looks like. So, yeah, you guys can see it, you know? It's pretty epic, you know? It's Nether Wart, it's got a border because you don't want it to run off, you know? So it's pretty cool. Let's get into actually why it's built this way, though. Now, when farming Nether Wart normally, alright, it's extremely slow, as you can probably guess. I'm at 399% speed, and this is extremely slow compared to other crops. So you might be thinking, well, how would I get around that? Well, people realize that instead of making a farm like this, okay, they could instead make a farm exactly like this, except fly instead, which, you know, it works. Flying definitely does help. However, as you'll begin to see, there's a bunch of Nether Wart that's just being left behind, aka you're not farming it. And that's because you're going way too fast, which is bad. So people are like, what's a way I could do this, but not miss a bunch of Nether Wart, and also make it more efficient? So that's when they created this little thing, alright? Basically how it works is that you look right into here. You don't have to stack them up. Some people do it other ways, but I just made it like this. Now, if you look at a precise angle, I'm not too sure what it is since I don't farm Nether Wart, but I'll probably put it on screen. If you look at that angle, though, you can begin to farm just like this, to where you're getting a bunch of different crops, but you're also not missing any. As you can see in this whole entire thing, for the first 2 rows, I did not miss any. However, you might see that for the 3rd row or whatever, I'm missing some, which is good, because that means that you're actually going at a pace to where you can get the first 2 just fine, and part of the 3rd, which gives you more Nether Wart, but also shows you that you're doing it correctly. At least that's what I'm told, though. Another great part of the Nether Wart farm is that instead of having to go up and down, kind of like you saw me do over here, instead you can constantly farm. So say I get to the end, right? I can then, if I didn't miss, alright, let's not talk about this. If I went like this, right, I could then just instantly go there and then bam, continue farming. It's amazing, okay? It's very good. Now, when it comes to Nether Wart, though, Nether Wart is so weird that instead of giving you farming XP, as you guys can see, it's given me alchemy XP. Now, you're probably thinking, why? And to answer that, I have no clue. I don't know why. But you do need a high enough farming level if you want to make the most money out of this. So, I recommend getting your farming level up. Anyways, let's move on. Now, honestly, Nether Wart's a pretty profitable crop if you ask me, okay? Unlike most items where they don't sell for a lot on NPCs, Mutant Nether Wart actually sells for a decent price on NPC. Sometimes the bazaar price is over it or under it, but this is an extremely stable crop if you ask me when it comes for money, okay? You could be racking a hefty ton of money and that will never change unless NPC prices change. So if you had this, right? I bought this for 77k, I can still sell this for 76.8k and I won't be losing that many coins. So it's extremely stable, which is why Nether Wart is honestly one of the best crops to farm for cash. Now, the final thing I have to say about Nether Wart is the tools used to farm them. So let's get a bit into that. Now, currently, the best tool used to farm Nether Wart is 100%, if I can find it. There we go, is the Newton's Nether Wart hoe, okay? The Newton Nether Wart hoe is the best for farming Nether Wart, obviously. It's literally in its name. And the only issue with this hoe is that it's extremely expensive, especially if you want to get it to tier 3. So, once you get it to tier 3, which I highly recommend, honestly, it's a banger of a hoe, okay? It's so good, it's great. I have 50 million Nether Wart on this hoe. I think that can prove just how good it actually is. So I definitely recommend getting this hoe, not only if you want to get gold in Nether Wart, which some people might use to get farming 60, but also in general if you want to be making off of this. So yeah, get this thing. And that's pretty much it for Nether Wart. It's a questionable crop to say the least, but honestly, it's definitely pretty good if you want to level up your alchemy without spending a whole ton of cash. And also if you want to make cash as well. So, yeah, that's Nether Wart. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.